Hey everyone, and welcome back to philosophy. And at the moment, we are right in the middle of innatism. So, what we're trying to do is to work out where our knowledge comes from. And last time we explored Plato, who is an innatist and believes that we are born with innate knowledge. And we went through his ideas on the noumenal realm and how we can recollect the form, so perfect knowledge, because our souls existed before we did, so we can recall knowledge. So today we're going to carry on and we're going to continue looking at someone who is an innatist, but at the same time we're going to look at somebody who is completely against that idea, and that is John Locke. So today we're going to do things a little bit differently. So in true philosophical kind of style, we're going to look at a dialogue that took place really between two very famous philosophers, John Locke, who was an empiricist, and Gottfried Lifitz, who was a rationalist and an innatist. So what I'd like you to do is I want you to have a really good look at the Word document that I'm just about to show you. And I want you to take time to fill that in as you're watching the video. So basically today is a dialogue between these two key philosophers, and you've got to record what they agree on, what they disagree on, and why. So good luck and enjoy. Hello everyone, my name is John Locke, famous empiricist philosopher from some time ago now. I'm here to outline my views, the views of an empiricist, against the ideas of the great, but not so great philosophers such as Plato and Descartes. I wrote a very good book, which I called An Essay Concerning Human Understanding, in which I laid out my very sensible views on human knowledge. Let me make it clear that as an empiricist, I deal with my experiences of the world and I do everything I can to avoid reference to dependence on strange and unsubstantiated ideas, such as invoking the world of forms and noumenal existence and such poppycock. No, I deal with experience and believe firmly that experience is how we come to know everything. I am an a posteriori man, through and through. So, let me explain. The way I see it is like this. Innatists, that odd lot that believe that at least some of our knowledge is innate and within us from birth, are wrong. Plato and the like believe that innate knowledge makes absolute sense to explain how we have knowledge of universals. Things like the law of non-contradiction. So this runs as it is impossible to be and not to be at the same time. They claim that these universals have to be within us, as we could never know this simply through experience, through instances. Nonsense. So, my first attack on innatism is this. If, as the innatists claim, we all, yes, all have this universal knowledge within us, then how can they explain the fact that children and idiots don't seem to know these things? Now, there are a fair few children and a fair few idiots out there, and they don't seem to have these universals to hand. So come on, innatists. Surely you can admit that if everyone doesn't know this knowledge, they don't have this knowledge, then they can't be universals. Hello there, John. My name is Gottfried Lifitz, and I need to stop you there for just a teeny minute. I am a very capable philosopher who has read your work and basically corrected it. I wrote my new essays in human understanding as a direct response to your book. John, I love you and I respect you, but I am truly surprised, and might I say, disappointed in some of the claims that you've made in this book. I know that both of us are very different in approach, and I do align myself with the great thinkers such as Plato and Descartes, the Innatists. I hope you don't mind the way I wrote my book. In true philosophical style, I wrote it as a dialogue between two characters, one taking your views and one expressing the right views, my own. Now, let me pick up on what you just said about universals. Yes, we do claim that in order to make sense of our world, we must have some general truths or knowledge within us. We call these necessary truths or universals. And you say, quite rightly, quite rudely, might I add, that children and idiots do not possess these universals, and therefore they are not universal, and they are not evidence of innate knowledge. But wait! I disagree. Children and idiots may well be confused if you challenge them to express the law of non-contradiction. If you said, "Little boy, come over here and tell me what you know of the law of non-contradiction. Get on with it now." But they do know it. They know that a cherished toy cannot be with them and somewhere else at the same time. They know that their teddy cannot be in their arms and in the garden at the same time. In addition to this, children and idiots may well know these universals, but just not realise that they know them. This knowledge might not be immediately apparent. Gottfried, really. I have dealt with this in my book. Knowledge is knowledge. You either know it or you don't. If you don't know something, you don't know it. I call this the transparency of ideas. It is nonsense to say that children and idiots do know of universals, but don't know that they do. Knowledge is not hidden. It is transparent and obvious. This is another reason for me rejecting the idea of innate ideas. John, maybe this knowledge is subconsciously known. Maybe we have this knowledge inside us and it can be awoken by a stimulus, by an experience at some point in our lives. I have you, Gottfried. Let me get this right. Let me get this straight. You say that maybe knowledge is hidden and then an experience comes along to awaken this knowledge. So, without experience, this knowledge, this hidden chest of wisdom, is sitting doing nothing until an experience comes along and activates it. Well, in what way is this different to my viewpoint? That all knowledge comes through experience, and mine has the beauty of being so much simpler. Ditch the innate ideas. They are unnecessary, complex, and add nothing. Empiricism has all the answers, all. And remember Occam's razor, the philosophical device respected by all philosophers, to accept the simplest explanation from a variety of equally successful possibilities? Occam's razor points to me, Gottfried, points to me, and with empiricism. And now for my big idea, the tabula rasa, or blank slate. This is my key idea. This is what I'm famous for. And it goes like this. When we are born, we are empty of knowledge. We are like a blank wax slate ready to be written on. But this tabula rasa only takes shape. We only start to acquire knowledge through our experiences of our sense perception. John, I can come up with ideas like that too. Unfortunately, mine are not so well known anymore, but here we go. We are not born a tabula rasa, but nor are we born with all knowledge. We are like blocks of marble, the stone used to carve beautiful statues. But this marble is veined. It has within it tendencies and dispositions to be shaped a particular way. A block of marble might have veins that would be suitable to be worked and chipped away to become a fine statue of Hercules. Can you see that I'm saying that work or experience is needed to uncover the veins, but they are there in the first place to shape our knowledge. We are born with them. This is my marble analogy, and I like it. Can you see that in terms of innatism, I'm saying that we have tendencies and inclinations for knowledge, but that this needs shaping by experience. And John, can I just say that if you were really honest with yourself and really thought about it, you'd realise that you actually agree with me. Me? Agree? Never. Seriously, John, can you just take me through your ideas about how we come to knowledge, and I'll show you that you actually think the same way as me? Very well, Gottfried, I will play along with you. Very simply, as empiricists like us like it, we are born a blank slate, and then we acquire ideas. Now, we do this through sensations and reflections. Now, let's be clear here. Sensations are the tastes, the smells, things we see, and then reflection is how our minds process these sensations. It makes sense of them. Reflection sorts these sensations and helps us compare them to each other. We notice similarities, differences, and so on through reflection. I came up with another cracking example here to illustrate. We are like filing cabinets in which we open our drawers to sensations, and then we have a system with which to file them. Ha! You see? I have you. You've just admitted it. You talk of reflections and I talk of veined marble or innate dispositions for knowledge. Same thing. No, nonsense. Well, everyone, the facts are that Locke and Leibniz never saw eye to eye on knowledge. Locke always insisted that knowledge comes through experience, a posteriori, whereas Leibniz argued the opposite. However, despite their great gap in agreement seems to be, maybe we could see them as being very close in terms of them both arguing for the importance of experience in coming to knowledge. And maybe Leibniz is right that Locke's ideas on reflection are innate abilities.